Hey there. I wanted to jump on real quick because I think what I have to say is important or at least can help a lot of people. And I want you to be aware of stuff in order to protect yourself in this new world that we're living in. If you can't tell, in the last 20 years, maybe a little bit more, maybe 30, the world around us has become electronic in big ways. Not just in amazingly helpful ways, but really what they're doing and what they've done. And again, I hate the way I sound sometimes, but it's urgent for me to teach. It's really urgent. Once you realize that your car is no longer easily repairable and things have to be, you have to go to mechanics who remove 20 things just to get to one part of the engine. When you realize your refrigerator has all these self-regulating mechanisms, and we're all addicted and not addicted, but forced into a world called online, right? Where you can't even function if you're not participating online. I mean, other countries are nicer. They expect people to need printed copies still. I mean, I love Asia for that reason. You don't have to 100% live online, but as you know, the world is electric. It's super electric. And I'm not going to list everything, but phones and cameras and like appliances, vehicles, anything, and responsibilities like filing taxes or assessing property or real estate transactions, banking. Banking is one of the scariest ones. Bitcoin is a whole nother world. All of these electronically driven, electronic dependence in our life was not, and is not only for convenience. They sell it to us as convenience. Okay, they sell us a lot of stuff, but it isn't that at all. It is actually for total and massive observation, surveillance, and control. To the Because once you understand what they're capable of doing, which they are, they do everything to me, man. They really don't like me. Then you realize, oh my God, this wasn't created because some guy thought it'd be awesome to have your control panel in your car have different icons light up to tell you what's wrong. Okay, that's what we want to believe, and somewhat that's what's created in mainstream everyday life. But once it's agreed upon or used or allowed, whether it be a car or your heart monitor or, like I said, your appliances or your furnace in your home, it's not from the point of view of, wow, this is so helpful to mankind. We're gonna let this patent go through and we're gonna watch this product grow. No, that's what you deeply want to believe, which we all used to believe. It is more like, wait a minute. So with this electronic thermostat, we can shut everyone's heat off in the entire block. We can make their cars not run with this simple mechanism. We can monitor how much water they're using in their washer machine with these mechanisms, and on and on and on and on. And of course, visiting websites, conversations, this video that I'm making, words, AI, the fact that it can listen for words. Like if I say something weird right now, like, and this is so scary with the First Amendment, but let's say I talk about um, mixing duck eggs with humans and creating human ducks. I'm trying to be stupid because I don't really want them to come out looking for me. Okay, you see what I'm trying to say? Everything has been electronified. This is a word I'm making. Everything has been, tech based, not for the convenience that we once believed it was for. It's for complete and total control in every way possible, along with surveillance. Because if Epstein's files haven't taught you yet, we are under the supervision of psychopathic, pedophilic, demonstrative sadists. Okay? So if they compromise each other to the point where they're doing what we know they do, right? If you want to be in this club, you're going to, I can't even say it. You know everything I'm thinking. Then of course they don't think twice about using 5G towers to spy and regulate and harm and shoot and do. That's exactly what they're doing. Now, my life experiences are so bizarre, so out of the ordinary, that I'm privy to information and experiences that prove this stuff to be even more true than the average house mom with 3 kids who is a lawyer and she's just going to work every day making stuff happen. Because I am not deeply in the matrix, I am in the matrix. I'm not the richest man on earth, but I live a very small and different life. It creates problems for this group of people who do have a name, by the way. And I am able to think, as you can tell. It's like 2 in the morning. I popped out of bed, put these glasses and hat on. My bed is right behind me, and I said, I got to do this video. I got to do it right now, because it's getting louder and louder. And this is how I live. I don't want to ever ignore my teaching. I always want to tell everyone what I'm learning, because it is I'm suffering. You won't believe what they're doing to me all the time. So if they're going to harm me the way they do all day long, every couple minutes, basically, with electronic weapons, then I'm going to use rational thought and conversation and tell you every reason why they're shooting me. They've ruined my entire life, and they've scarred my face, and they shoot my body, and these are people that are on my friends list, by the way. These are all these people are involved. So the best thing. So remember Cash for Clunkers? That was an Obama program, and I'm not speaking poorly of Obama. Everybody is a robot. You cannot escape these people. If I'm only minutes away from saying, okay, what do I got to do so you stop shooting me? You want me to go pick up a bunch of kids in a school bus and drive everyone off the cliff? Is that what I got to do, myself included? Like this is the kind of torture they do to you. And you wonder, like, what do you want from me? What do you really want from me? And they never tell you, because they want to forever have you in their grasp. Because, as you can see, I'm articulate, I'm aware, and I share information so that you, the people that I love who have been told to not love me, won't suffer to the degree that I have been chosen to suffer for. I don't even understand why. So let me remind you again. Cash for Clunkers was a program that was disguised to make you believe they're removing toxic cars with bad exhaust, old cars, fuel-burning cars. Everything that has to do with the environment is a lie. They just tug on our heartstrings. We're all in love with trees and the ocean and animals. So they do that, just like now, they do it with everything, to make us respond to their messaging. But it's not real. You see, a car from the 1980 was so easy to assess. Like, oh my God, I'm realizing the battery's dead, or that sounds like the fan belt, or maybe I need a little starter fluid. I mean, the average person could get their car running and just wash their hands and go to work almost all the time. So they didn't want that. Now we have a serpentine belt that's underneath 10 things that you need special tools to remove. And it's so hard that you need to go to a specialist, not even just a mechanic. You have these specialists because it's designed that way. Now, don't get me wrong. Along with having a 1980 car is in these 2020 cars, is that the car's amazing. It does amazing things, and I'm not going to take away any of that, and that is true. But what I'm trying to share with you is that this is why the car used to be $3,500 and now it's $40,000. Okay, they've taken the transportation that we rely on and said, well, do you really want to move from your house and drive 4 miles to work? Well, you're going to have to pay $500 or $600 a month for 5 years to have a car. You see, so and then there's these icons. So your car won't start, and you got 4 icons, and you got to plug something in that tells you what's going on. 30 years ago, you would listen and go, oh my God, that sounds like my carburetor's, I smell the gas, I'm flooded. Now, I'm speeding this up, but this is what they're doing to us. This is to us. They, if you decided, you know what, I'm just gonna have a $2,000 car that looks a little funny, but it's fun. I got my old 1985 Monte Carlo. Okay, and all I got to do is go back. They're gonna call it all these names because you have beat the system. You have figured out that for $2,000 and no more payments, you could drive this heap of jalopy to your job and not have to spend 40 grand. And if you can keep a $2,000 car alive for 10 years, where other people have to spend $80,000 or so in 10 years, hypothetically, you know what I'm saying? At buying two cars. So this is the phenomena of what they're doing to us in every facet of our lives. Music, video, Hollywood, cameras, refrigerators, washing machines, televisions, smart anything. Smart my ass. It's surveillance. It's not smart. Glasses. I won't even make the list, but you have to realize that is the end goal. The end goal. And of course, when you're a mom and a dad and you got a family, you're like, Greg, will you shut up? I'm exhausted. I don't care if my television has a camera on it. And I don't want to take that away from you. I'm not trying to interfere with your flow of life. I love when people are happy. I love when people are successful. I love love. There's 8 people walking around with tattoos of love on them because of me. I don't want to take that away from you, but the reality is when you're teaching your child and when you're loving your child and when you're helping your child, when they're old enough to accept some of these kind of heavy ideas, you want to introduce them. You want to say, like my father did to me. My father introduced me, and maybe a little too young, to concepts that are really everything that's happening today. I am so aware and have predicted countless stuff that have happened since, I don't know, maybe 99, that I can't even believe everything my father taught me, because everything he taught me is coming true. Every single thing he ever said is coming true. And what did the local government do? My father was called crazy, and he was and in his older years, they targeted him. That's another video, but being targeted by the group that I'm calling out, that I'm telling you, is part of this reality, okay? Once what they do is they become so suspicious because they're not contributing to society in creative and productive and strategic and speculatory ways. They don't wake up and go, man, I want to shine shoes, or I want to shine everyone's shoes in the city of Hartford. I really think I can do it. I think people will want your shoes shined. That's very noble, and you might look down on a guy who shines shoes, but he's coming from a place of incredible belief and self-discovery. When these people that I'm referring to, and it doesn't always mean the government, or don't try to find some group to hate, but if you get a salary and no one is watching you, and you take that salary from the most successful and powerful business in the world, worth trillions of dollars, called United States of America, the corporation, if that's coming to you from the country and you are protected by a whole militia, we call them police or secret services. There's all this militia is designed to make sure nobody penetrates the realities of the things that I'm telling you. You can't go to the cops and say, listen, officer, I got to tell you something. My refrigerator has a camera on it, and that camera is filming my daughter every morning. The cops will be like, well, there's nothing they can really do about that. Okay? There's like no crimes worse, but they cannot solve crime. You would be like, well, we gave you a cajillion dollars. You have tanks and guns and cars, and aren't you the crime guys? No, because situationally, the corporation of America wants those refrigerators with cameras, because at any moment, the people way up on top of that tax dollar, we're not talking to the president, we're talking about the deep state, the dark secret societies and intelligence agencies, the people that killed JFK, right? They are on top. And if they want to see your daughter making orange juice through the refrigerator, the police better stay out of the way. You want your pension, officer? You don't know what's going on, because we might need to compromise that father or mother at any moment, or that kid. That kid could be a genius, and we're going to have the power to extract video or whatever and harm those people as we see fit. That is the reality of what we're living. Take that weird thing with making orange juice and the fridge having a camera on it. They just shot my eye. And know, this is full time all over the world. And I hate to tell you that they do this through the 5G towers. And I am not telling you from conspiracy. I am telling you through experience.